I don't know about you, but everyone is talking AI. Everyone is talking about use this AI tool to do this and this AI to tool that, automate everything. And do you know what? AI is here to stay. We've got to embrace it. But finding ways to be able to use AI to save us time, energy, and effort, rather than replace our human aspect and the human connection with our audience, is the side of the fence that I sit on. I'm pro AI, but I'm also pro human. And in my journey in this online world, I've been in this online space for over 20 years. Previously, I was running agencies, building funnels and marketing and websites for people. And in 2023, I decided to close my agency and I wrote my book, Simplify the Funnel. Simplify the Funnel is really just everything that I learned from working with people over 20 years and seeing that the people who won were the people who simplified. The people who listened to the idea of adding complexity to their business were the ones that struggled and procrastinated over launching something. And launching was really held back by design and systems and building stuff. Kajabi is the #1 business system that you can build your entire business on. I'm an advocate for Kajabi. I've been a partner of Kajabi since it pretty much started. I'm a Kajabi Millionaire Hero. I was presented with the Millionaire Hero Award at their conference in Austin, Texas. Today, I want to talk to you about how Kajabi have made it even simpler to launch. I don't know if you've heard about this. Across the board, there's many AI tools and platforms that use something called an MCP to connect to their platform. Effectively, what an MCP does, and it's not really a science explanation here, it is effectively a connector between the platform that you want to use and your favorite AI tool. So for instance, Claude is my favorite AI tool from Anthropic. Kajabi is the platform that I build everything on. And so Kajabi have created an MCP that effectively links the two together. When you're wanting to build stuff out and wanting to create stuff in Kajabi, you can now use their MCP. And I've been testing it for a while. I've been learning how to use it and seeing what the functionality and what the limitations are and testing it and pushing it. But we tested something yesterday that I want to run another test on this video and see how it works. One of the things that I do is I build out sales pages for clients, and we tend to use Figma and Photoshop to be able to build some stuff together, create the page as it's going to look. So this is a flat HTML page that we've designed and we've pulled together inside of Figma that's got all of the branding and all of the elements related to it. So this is the sales page. What I want to do is I want to put this sales page into Kajabi. Now, we could spend probably half a day taking this flat HTML, throw it piece by piece, copy and paste, do all the image work and everything like that, and build it all out in Kajabi. But then I thought, shall we test the Kajabi MCP? Can we give it this flat HTML page and ask it to build us a page in Kajabi? Now, when I want to build stuff out in Kajabi, particularly when we're working with clients over the years, I've been a stickler for wanting the page to be built based on anything that the client can then change. There are a lot of templates and things out there that you can buy that use a lot of custom code. And a lot of people don't have access to the custom code of Kajabi, so they always have to go back to that developer if they want things changed outside of the page builder. So I have a few prerequisites that I want the MCP to be able to follow. The first is to use native blocks and sections of the Kajabi page builder. The second, if it's going to inject any custom styles, I want them to be styled in a way that they are defined as classes within the page, but then the custom CSS to be put into the page settings. I'll explain more about this and where that goes in a moment. And the third thing is I want the customer to be able to edit this themselves. So I want nothing customized that could break if the customer was to edit text on the page. So they're the 3 prerequisites. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this HTML page and I'm going to throw it into Claude. So let's go into Claude right now. And we'll open Claude on my desktop. And so I've got Claude here. Now I'm going to paste a prompt into Claude. So let's look at this prompt a little bit closer. So I'm just going to read it. I've zoomed in so I can read it. I would like you to take the flat HTML page that I've got right here, and I'm going to attach it to this chat in a moment. And I want you to build it in my Kajabi. The site ID I want you to use is, and that's my site ID, and I want you to build this as a landing page in Kajabi. I want you to use the native elements of sections and blocks within Kajabi. I want you to copy and mirror the brand style exactly, and all the copy and content and layout utilized in this flat HTML page. I want the Kajabi page to look as close to the flat HTML as possible. Any images that are used in this flat HTML design, I want you to import into the Kajabi media library and use them on this page. I want styles to match as close as possible. When complete, I want you to sanity check the website so that it looks and feels the same as the flat HTML. Any custom styles, I want you to define them as classes within the elements and blocks that you put into the Kajabi page. I want you to then define those styles in the settings and custom CSS of the landing page editor. I do not want you to make any changes or customization to the landing page theme because I want all the changes done in the landing page builder. So let's attach the HTML. So that's the flat HTML page. Let's hit start task and I'll time it. I'll pause this and I'll come back. So I'm just going to come back in here. So we've been going literally about 10 seconds and now it's asked for a task to be allowed. So it's allowing me, asking me to allow for this task. So I'm going to go there. We can see here currently it's setting at 58 seconds. So I'll pause again and see how we get going with the rest. So just to check in with you again here, we've been going 1 minute 30 seconds. It's going through all of the different things. So it's found the tools and the MCP that Kajabi have got linked. And within that MCP, there are a number of skills that they've already created that enable us to be able to build out and do the things. It's going to kind of use its intelligence to use the right blocks and things like that. So at the moment, it's getting the theme content and it's getting ready to start the theme content response. So it's reading the file that I've been sent. It's going to read some skill files. We've been going 2 minutes. So let's just pause it and I'll come back in a moment. So we'll come back in. We're at 2 minutes 52 of the task so far, and you can see that it's continued to read a skill file. So it's reading the skill files on how to do this. So it's starting to read skill files of block types, remaining blocks and layout recipes so that it can kind of understand what we've done in the flat HTML and how to translate this into a native Kajabi page. So we're at 3 minutes 17. Let me pause it again and we'll come back in a moment. Okay, so we're at 3:38. It's now working through the complex response. So obviously I'm using Claude. I'm using Fable 5 on high level, which is one of the highest levels right now for use and speed to be able to see what's happening here and see how it does. So we've basically now waiting for its response to start building it out. And then obviously what we'll do once this has been built out, we'll see what kind of response that it gives us to any of this. Any other commands where it asks me to approve anything, I'll dive back into this. And then we'll see the final page inside Kajabi, inside the page builder, to see what it outputs. And my aim is just to give you this straight out the box. I'm not going to edit anything that it gives me. I'm just going to share with you exactly how it looks and we'll see how well this does. Oh, it's saying there's some tasks that have been completed. It's downloaded some of the Unsplash images that have been used in the flat HTML. So Unsplash is a royalty-free page that you can get some of those. So let's give it another few minutes and see how it goes. Okay, so actually at 5 minutes 26, it ran into an error downloading some of the images from Unsplash. It's looking at trying to work out the error and running a different skill. It's found some tools to be able to do that, and it's working through that process. So anything that it's running into an issue over, it's already trying to work out and fix the issue rather than coming back to me. You can see that I've had no other kind of responses. I've not had to approve anything else. I've not had to kind of feed it anything else at this stage. I'm kind of hopeful that this is going to be quite good, but we'll see how it goes. So we're at 6 minutes and 3 seconds. I'll just pause that and we'll come back in a moment. Okay, so I've now got something here. Kajabi's API can't upload to the media library direct, so I need another route for the images. How do you want me to handle them? Connect Chrome so that we can upload. Build now with image URLs, or we'll upload them manually. To be honest, I'd rather it literally just do as much as it can itself right now. So I'm just going to click upload them manually because I know we've got those images. So as long as it's going to give us some image blocks, then I can upload those images once we're done, because like I said, we've already got the images. So let's see what happens. So it's saying you'll upload them manually. I'll get you the image files and upload link. Let me try to get the images into my workspace through an allowed route. So again, it's trying to work this all through. We're at 7 minutes and 40 seconds. It's doing the job for me at this moment in time. Let's pause it and we'll come back if there's any update and with the next phase of what we're looking at. So it's still working through this part. We're at 10 minutes and 37 seconds. Obviously, it's working through these images. So I guess this is kind of one of the stumbling blocks. Obviously, we can see that it can't upload the images into the media library right now. But it's still working through this task of working through the images. Obviously, I could have linked the file on our local machine here where we've got those images. So I suppose I probably could have done that, but I wanted to really just see what it could do with the flat HTML, just to see how well it would work out of the box to be able to do this and give it this kind of a test. So we can see the progress on the right hand side. At the moment it's on this importing images to the media library task. Then it's going to be building the sections with blocks, copy and brand styles, and then sanity check the page build. It's got those progress steps over on the right hand side for me to be able to see. So right at this stage, we're going to pause it again, 11 minutes and 38 seconds, and then come back in a moment. Okay, so we've got an update here at 13 minutes and 50 seconds. It's basically said that the seal and logo are well rendered. Now they're going to build the image downloader and get the Kajabi upload link. It wants to use add media from the Kajabi MCP. So we're just going to click always allow, because it looks like it's found a way to add media into the page. So it's now using the Kajabi integration and running the command. So we're at 14 minutes and 20 seconds right now. It seems to be working, seems to be going well so far, but we'll just keep an eye on what's going on, and we'll come back in a moment with any further update or approval or message. Okay, so we've got some options here that basically the image pack and upload are with you. So the building of the page itself and the brand style tokens and custom CSS header and footer. So basically I've got some stuff that I can open here and have a look. So let's have a look at the image downloader pack. Okay, so it's given me a download. So it's put stuff together that I can now save. So let's just save it to the desktop. So look, downloaded all of these files. Okay. So that's cool. And what's the other downloader that it's given me? Image downloader as well. So let's just download these. Okay. So they are all downloaded as well. So it needed to allow multiple downloads. So It's just downloading each of the files one at a time. I think probably what I need to do is make sure that I go back to this first one and download and allow the multiple. That's what I didn't do for last time. So we've got all of these being downloaded as well. Okay. So it's obviously extracted these and then looked at the images. So let's just, as an example, let's just open one of the images. So birthday cake. Yep, this is one of the images that we used. So the AI has done the job of doing all of that, which is great. So we've got those images there. Let's go back to Claude. And it's still doing some stuff. So it's updating the theme content. So we're at 18 minutes 43. And so we've got all of that going. Delete some of these notifications. So 8 minutes 15. So we're at 19 minutes so far. Let's pause this and come back if there's any update and see where we go from there. Okay, so we've got another couple of updates that are coming through. So style token, CSS, all sections are in, verifying the structure, landing correctly, and the CSS class survived the rewrite, classes survived intact, and checking the full section list. So it's obviously started to build it out. I haven't checked the Kajabi site because I don't want to go in until we're doing this just yet. Oh, we just had another one. Allow Claude to fetch pages. So yep, we'll allow Claude to fetch pages from the Kajabi site. So that's because obviously I'm linked with my account. One of the things that I know a number of service providers who are already using kind of MCP are already asking the question over is if they've got access to multiple sites and client websites, how can they use the MCP across client websites? It's a question that's been posed to Kajabi and we'll see how that works. Okay, and now it says done. Okay, all 19 sections in the flat HTML are recreated as 17 native sections, plus a fixed header and footer. The brand styles are set at the page level. Custom styles are defined as GF hyphen with classes, so like eyebrows, Polaroid options, all these kind of things. Great. Photos are temporarily referenced. The original Unsplash URLs and the page numbers are correct. Floating call to action is there. Waiting on you, 2 minutes. So this has been 22 minutes to do this in total. Open the GF pack and it saves all 18 images, which I rendered in the downloads folder. Upload 13 here. So it's given me the upload there. So tell me when they're in place and then we'll do the final check. So why don't we do this? Let's open the media library as it's given me the instruction to do. Okay, so they're all now in the image library. Let's go back to Claude because it said to go back. Two things to flag: the pricing buttons. Okay, they're not connected to anything. We know that because we didn't ask it to create offers or anything like that. And I'm basically going to now say all images now in the media library. Let's see what it does. My expectation is that it will go to the page, it will look in the media library and it will add those in. It might not, but let's see. If it doesn't, then obviously when we go into the page builder, because these images are now in the universal kind of media library that Kajabi have now created, we should be able to do a really easy job of just bringing those images in. But let's just see what this is doing. It's looking at the media that's in there. It's still thinking about something. So rather than sit and wait loads, we've got Claude wants to use crop media. So yeah, let's allow it. So it looks like it's taking the media, it's adding, it's cropping, it's doing the job that it needs to do. So let's pause. Okay, I've got another thing. It wants to use place media. So I'm going to allow that task. So it's obviously cropped the right images. It's placing the media into here. Remember the first task we ran was 22 minutes. Then we just had to do this thing of getting all the media downloaded, and then we uploaded it to the media library, and you could see that it was quite quick uploading those to the media library. Now it's uploaded to the media library. I just had to come in and tell Claude that they were in the media library. And now we're just going to wait and see what's next on Claude's list in terms of the next steps for the build. Okay, it's now saying all images slots are placed in the media library, quick data check on the hero, and then a visual sanity check. So we're 2 minutes into this next part of the task, and we can see that, it's pretty much working its way through. How do you want to do the final sanity check? Publish the page now, recommended. Yep, let's just publish the page now, and let's see what it does. Obviously, I'm doing this inside of one of my Kajabi accounts. That's kind of like a test account. You may want to obviously do this kind of thing in pages that won't affect your live site, making sure that you're referencing the site ID numbers. You can ask the Kajabi MCP to list your sites so that you can then select the relevant site. Otherwise, within the Kajabi page itself, up in the URL, there is a site ID that you can then quote, which is an easy way to find it in that way. So published goes live in under a minute. I see the nearest allowed time. I set the nearest allowed time, waiting for then, and then fetch the page to verify. So we're 3 minutes 39 into this second task. So that's 25 minutes, 26 minutes nearly of Claude's time, plus those couple of actions from myself. So we're running to good time to build out effectively a designed sales page, which is the biggest blocker for a lot of people. So we'll just see how this does. I'm going to pause until the next interaction. Okay, so this command has been running, and this second task is 9:34. It seems to have been hanging on this published thing. I have gone into the Kajabi account, and I can see that the page is there and that it's showing as published. So I'm not quite sure what's hanging with Claude right now. So I'm just going to ask it, is there a problem? You seem to be hanging. Hopefully then it will see that, and then just have a look, come back to me. Okay, it's having a quick look. It's obviously found the page that it's created, because that's what the page is that we saw. We've got a completed task here. We can see that the progress over on the top right hand corner, it's ticked all of these boxes. So I'm expecting it to now give me a completed task response. Here we go. So done. The page is live and verified. Sanity check results. All 17 headings are rendered. Section are all present. Images now served from the Kajabi media library. Every call to action button anchors correctly to the pricing section, which is really good. Known differences from the flat file. The top bar in Kajabi's native sticky header is also visible. So, okay, we need to sort that. And the two things for you, the pricing buttons and different sections. So let's have a look and see what the Kajabi page is like. So here in the Kajabi account, let's just refresh the landing page view. So this is the admin side of Kajabi. And let's just edit the page. Let's actually go in and customize the page just to see what things look like inside. I'm quite intrigued to see how this looks. It's going to be interesting, certainly, to see how it's rendered, the different styles, and all of this kind of stuff. So immediately, first thing over on the left hand side, I can see it's got all the sections, but it's also titled all of those sections as well, which is great, because when you're building out the page, being able to just add a text section, you've then got to go and rename that text section afterwards and things like that. So let's just have a quick scroll. Let me get rid of the sidebar for the moment on the editor, and let's just have a scroll through. It's pretty much got it, you know, if we look back to the flat HTML in terms of these fonts and stuff like this, it's pretty much got this. Obviously, this text is probably a little bit bigger. We could probably do some fine tweaking with some of this, which is not too bad at all, but it's pretty much got most of the things in here. The images obviously haven't come through. There was obviously an issue around the media library thing here, which we'll go in and fix. But we can see all of the different sections if we refer back to the flat HTML. We've got all of this. Even this highlight underneath this text was in here. Yep, you can see this highlight and this CSS here. We're going to check to see how the CSS has been added, but pretty much it's done what we asked it to do. It is just some of these images have gone in, you can see, which is fine. So on this design where we've got here, some of the things it's done, like bonuses underneath rather than on the top. It's obviously a limitation with the block that it's used. So it's used a feature block here, which has an image at the top, and then we can see bonus one, it's put some styling. So it's not 100% as the HTML design, but we're pretty much there. We've got the payment plans. Again, font for the pricing is a little bit skew-if. But we've got this 30-day money-back guarantee in there. That's actually that's 30-day money-back guarantee has been loaded as an image, so that's there. We've got the frequently asked questions. These were set up as an accordion, which in this section we can see, yep, it's used the accordion feature for that. And yeah, we've pretty much got that nailed. We need to sort out what it was talking about in terms of the header section. What I'm just going to do is I'm just now going to preview this. So this is going to be the preview of that Kajabi page that it's built out. So the next job really is just for me to load the images in. So let me just pause this. Let me load the images in and let's see where we go from there. So I'm just going to unpause at the moment and just kind of let you know what I'm doing here. We're basically seeing that in the build, what it's done is it's certainly asked us to upload images into the media library, and it's referencing images here. If I just click in one of those images, you can see the image is rendering on the left hand side in the edit window, but it's not rendering on the page itself. So all I'm doing is I'm basically just re-uploading these images one by one. So there's a slight bug or a mismatch here somewhere along the lines where it has loaded the image to the page, but for some reason the image isn't actually displaying on the page. So there's a slight mismatch. So I'm just going through and uploading all those images, and then I'll be back. So it looks like we're almost there, really. So it's taken me about 10 minutes to do that. So we were at 22 minutes for the main task. We were about another 8 minutes. It hung a little bit. So we were up to about 30 minutes with Claude, plus a couple of minutes for just doing the media stuff, plus about 10 minutes for me. So let's just round this to 45 minutes, 3/4 of an hour to get it to this point from the design that was done. This literally would have taken far longer, you know, at least 3 or 4 hours for a team to really just get this together. We've probably got a little bit more just to do in terms of making sure that headers have got the right font sizes and stuff like this according to the previous design. We've got to upload the video, that's the placeholder. But as you can see, this is the Kajabi page that is now in existence as a result of us asking Claude just to take a straight, flat HTML page that was designed in Figma, exported as flat HTML, and we've got it all working inside Kajabi as a landing page using the native blocks. Now, the one thing I want to just check right here is making sure that coding, like I said, and styles were done in the right way. So let's look at the editor. So inside this text, we can see we've got text up here. We've got a header, we've got some extra text, and we've got some other text here. They're all slightly different in terms of styles. Let me open the text editor in full for this section, and let's look at the source code. Okay, the source code has got classes defined in here, which is great because this is what I wanted. I didn't want CSS embedded styles, inline styles on here. So let's go and have a look at where those styles are. And I asked it to put it into the settings and custom code and custom CSS, which it has done. So let's just open this a bit wider so that we can see it. And we can see all of the styles that it's using across the page are all in here. So if I'm brutal, it's done what I've asked it to do. There's just some final little tweaks and things that we need to make with it. But on the whole, I think we're there. Kajabi is the platform that I build my entire business on. I hope that you can see that utilizing the MCP is another way that we can save a lot of time, energy, and effort. If we have someone who is great at design and doesn't know Kajabi, we can get them to design up our pages. We can get them to create a flat HTML version of it, give us the images, and we can use the Kajabi MCP to create a landing page in our sites. This is game changer. It's speeding up the process. It's making work a lot cheaper for you if you're a client and you're looking for these kind of services. But to be able to do this and then just bug fix along the way, you know, it's going to be probably another 20 minutes of my time just to make sure that sizes and dimensions and things are all done and we upload that video. Other than that, I'm happy. Kajabi MCP is here and we're going to be utilizing it. I'm going to be utilizing it more. If you need your trial of Kajabi, go to anthodges.com/Kajabi. You will be able to get access to my perfect sales page template. So effectively, I've got a 19-part sales page and I've got a simple guide that takes you through all 19 sections, the 19 sections that are on this page that we've just designed, why you need them, how to write them, how to section them up, what content to include, and then you can build out your own sales page. I think the MCP is just another tool in the Kajabi box, which ticks it for me to say it's the platform to build your online business. I produce a whole bunch of other Kajabi videos about different things. One of my most popular videos is how to put portrait style videos on your page. And you can click the link here. It's another video on my YouTube channel. You can go and watch that and see how to put portrait style videos on your Kajabi pages, things like reels and testimonials. I've been Ant Hodges. Please do make sure that you subscribe to the channel by clicking here. And there's also another video here just about my Kajabi story if you want to go and explore more that way. Make sure you're subscribed and I'll see you again on another video soon. Bye for now.